Today we're going to learn how to play Agree to Disagree, designed by Ryan Mindell, published by Adam's Apple Games. Agree to Disagree is a competitive party game designed for 4 to 8 players that also has a cooperative mode at 2 and 3 players. To set up the game, give each player a secret opinion device and a prediction token. Then separate the 2 decks of cards based on color. The player who most recently settled the dispute becomes the first moderator. A little bit more about each of the components. Each card has a list of 3 categories on it. On the back side, a number for scoring purposes. The magic of the game comes from the secret opinion device that we handed out to each player. The front side looks exactly the same, no matter which way it's oriented. The back side, you'll see, has a heart on one side and an X heart on the other side. A device with a heart and a device with an X heart will always form a flush connection together. A device with 2 of the same inputs, heart and heart, or X heart and X heart, will always have a gap in the middle. You'll see it'll show the equal signs in the gap. So this is an agreement, and the fully connected device is a disagreement. Now that's the twist of the game. In this game, you want to form and promote disagreements at the table, and so you're gonna have to train yourself a little bit to think about, how do I do things in a way that promotes a disagreement? Now here's how to play. Agree to Disagree is played in rounds, and each round, each player will get to be the moderator once over the course of the game. Here's what happens during a round of play. 2 cards are revealed. The player to the right of the moderator gets to pick any one of the 6 categories on the 2 cards. Once the category is chosen, the moderator, it's their job to select a topic that fits within the category. That topic that the moderator picks is supposed to ideally promote some disagreement at the table. Let's say the player to my right picks retro video game as the category. So for this example, let's say that maybe Pokemon Blue was better than Pokemon Red. That's my topic, that's my statement. It is now, all players must now form an opinion about that topic. And their opinion must either like it with a heart or dislike it with an X heart. There is no fence sitting in Agree to Disagree. If I like it, I'm going to pick the heart and face the center of the table. If I dislike it, I'm going to pick the X heart and face the center of the table. Once all players have locked in their opinions, it is now the player to the left of the moderator, they become the active player. The active player will now choose someone else at the table and connect their 2 devices and determine whether an agreement or a disagreement was formed. If a disagreement is formed, points are awarded to the active player and the moderator. So let's go and test this example. Let's say the active player connects with the tan player over here. All right, and looks like they formed a disagreement, okay? Look at this. Flush as can be. Now they don't show anyone. They keep their devices, they keep their opinions face down and out of the way, but we all know at the table whether they agreed or whether they disagreed. So we know they disagreed. Devices are disconnected, points are awarded. So 2 points go to active player and 1 point goes to moderator. Now, once you've been the active player in a round, you're out of the round for the rest of the round. So a good thing to do is to put your card or your prediction token on top of your secret opinion device, showing everyone else at the table that you're out of the round. Now, gameplay continues in a hot potato manner, so the active player then passes to the passive player. Passive player becoming the active player. So the tan player now can choose anyone else at the table and try to form a disagreement. They're reading the players at the table. Let's say they select the moderator. The moderator can also be selected in this instance. All right? They select the moderator. Now we formed an agreement, so no points were awarded. But had we formed a disagreement, the active player would get the 2 points and the moderator would get the 1 point for the disagreement. Now, play continues in a hot potato manner until there are only 2 players remaining, and that's where these prediction tokens come into play. Let's say it is the 2 orange players here that are the final 2 players. Before they connect their devices, they're going to be submitting whether they're going to be predicting whether they are going to agree or whether they're going to disagree. So they make those predictions independently. Let's say over here, okay? And they both can score 2 points if they predict correctly. But in this case, they predicted different answers, and so only one of them is probably going to be scoring. All right, so in this case, they agreed. So this player over here would get the 2 points. The moderator would not get any points because no disagreement had been formed. And this player over here predicted disagree, so they would not get any points. After the end of the round, the moderator rotates one player clockwise, and gameplay continues as such until each player has been moderator once in the game. And once that happens, tally up your score and determine the winner. And that's how you play Agree to Disagree with 4 to 8 players. When playing a 2 or 3 player game, the game operates in a cooperative manner instead of a competitive manner. The cooperative group of 2 or 3 wins the game by forming 3 or 4 disagreements in a row without any mistakes. You may use all devices inside the box to track your results, and you must start over if you form an agreement. So what does that look like? We're going to clear the table, so there's only 2 players. So I would go and let's say I pick soccer, and they pick a topic and they say Lionel Messi. Hopefully they know that I like Messi. All right. So let's say they dislike Messi. I like Messi. We would then form a disagreement, and we would just leave these on the table. But they also need to be truthful about their choice. So they need to dislike Lionel Messi. They can't just go ahead and predictive lie about the interactions. Roles will be reversed. My partner would select a category. I would select a topic. And again, we can't lie. And then we would just give each other 2 new devices. And we would keep connecting devices until we have 4 in a row connected. If we form an agreement instead of a disagreement, then we got to break all of them apart and start over. And that's how the cooperative game works. Thanks again for checking out Agree to Disagree, and we hope you enjoy the game. Any questions, feel free to ask questions below in the comments. Cheers!